Where is it? Okay, so I'm trying not to make a lot of noise so you guys can hear me, but these pills are so loud. But this is video 2 of my medicine little series. So I'm looking for the second medication, which I can't find, so give me just a second. Anyway, guys, so yeah, I'm wearing this hat because I don't want you all to see my hair, because that's a whole nother video. So that's why I have this hat on. But where is the medicine? I can't find it. That's not good. That's not it. That's not it. You know what? No, that's not it either. I may not have it. I don't think I have. Okay, I think this is it. Nope. That's not it. Okay, I don't know where it is. You guys are probably like, dang, she don't know where it is, but okay. So basically, the second medication I'm going to talk about today is, I'm kind of going to go in order. So at first we talked about like prednisone, which is the first medication you're usually placed on if you have any suspected autoimmune disease that's caused by inflammation or any inflammatory disease. So the second medication is going to be called, what is it called? Plaquenil, or the generic for it is hydroxychloroquine. So people go by both. Now, one thing I want to say about Plaquenil or hydroxychloroquine is that it's one of those medications that seem to make a difference for people who can either take the generic brand or have to take the name brand when it comes to side effects. So they may not tolerate the generic brand as well as they would tolerate the name brand. So what I want to say is, so hydroxychloroquine is actually a anti-malarial medication, and it is said, for reasons they don't know why, it's good for arthritis and lupus, systemic lupus. And I was trying to find it, but I can't. And I just can't find it, guys. I thought it was in here. But, yeah, so basically, you can take it depending on and it's another one of those prescriptions that's based on like your weight. So if you're in a certain weight range, you would have to take only a certain amount of milligrams. But if you're in another weight range, like a 200 pounds or 180 to something, you would probably have to take a certain amount more of this type of medication. So basically, mine is a pill and a half, and it's probably about this big, and it's kind of like one of those long pills. So it's kind of long, and it's easy to chop this one in half. I mean, even if you have a pill cutter, any pill is easy to chop in half, but it's kind of like a rectangular-ish oval shape, if that makes sense. So basically, that's what it's for. We don't know why it works, but it's said to alleviate inflammation. So, like I said, arthritis too as well. So that's kind of like the first drug that is specific for lupus and arthritis that some people are put on. To be honest, it did not work for me. I am no longer on it. I don't know if he's doing it as a trial just to get my body a rest from it, because I was on it for a while and he didn't think it worked. But maybe that's why I can't find it. It might be tucked away in the cabinet somewhere, so I won't accidentally take it. I don't remember. But I've been off of that since right before I started Benelist infusions. So I've been off of that ever since. But when I first started, so I know you probably want to hear about like the side effects of it. So I'm gonna go over like the book, what the book says about it, and I'll tell you about my experience. So, um, oh yeah, this is one that should be taken out of many drugs that I take. This is one that should be taken with either like food or a whole glass of milk. If you're into milk, I don't like milk, so I always used to take it when I ate, and I've always used to take it at night because of side effects it could cause. But like I said, I'll go over that. So these are the signs and side effects of this medication. So these are the less serious side effects, which is headache, upset stomach, diarrhea, appetite loss, loss of hair. And if you notice any other side effects that are like worse than just a normal little cramp or whatever, anything that has to do with your GI, you're supposed to let your doctor know. Of course, any rashing or itching, that's an allergic reaction, so you have to let them know right away. Any unexplained fever, that means something's not right in your body, so you definitely need to let them know right away. And severe or bloody diarrhea. So, um, one thing that concerned me when I started this medication, I was put on this medication at the beginning of 2016, and I was told you need to go have your eyes checked. And I'm like, okay, for what? Why am I getting my eyes checked? I had just got a new prescription before my eyes went blurry from when I was in the hospital in December. So I had just got a new prescription in November. So I had to go back to the eye doctor. He had to check my eyes. So basically, when being on this medication, it can change your vision, and it's said to be able to change it easy. Some people eat very easily. Some people it doesn't affect them at all. I don't know. I don't know what happens, but it can affect your eyes. So I was very concerned about that. I didn't want to take it at first, but I did. I was going to take it because I was in a lot of pain, especially being in the beginning of my journey. I didn't even see me being able to get to this point at that time where I am. Even though I still hurt every day, I'm inflamed every day, I feel sick every day, I still didn't even see me getting to this point. So, so I did my eye exam, everything was good. I go back for another eye checkup, but I honestly don't think it affected my vision any worse than what it was, because when I was in the hospital in December, I was pretty much couldn't see too much of anything. So, like, for example, I was scrolling through my Facebook messages, like your inbox messages, and I saw where someone wrote me, and I wrote them back like maybe like a month ago, because I would post things, but I used to strain, and that's what started the whole let me Facebook put my business about my health out on Facebook. It started with that because my vision was kind of taken away. So it's like I couldn't sit here and text everybody, and especially on my little phone, I couldn't sit here and text everybody, like, because I couldn't see. So I was like, let me just put it out there. So that's where all this actually started from, because of my vision. But so yeah, so I haven't had any side effects from it. The only one that I want to say, and if this is TMI for anybody, you can cut the video off or skip through, but Plaquenil is definitely said, and I can attest to it, to make your stomach really gassy, which is why it possibly causes, they say, upset stomach and nausea. Okay, it didn't make me nauseated. I had my own reasons as to why I was nauseated, but I did have extremely bad gas. But this is something, like, if you stick with it, you'll be okay, like, maybe like in a month and a half, like that will go away. At least it did for me. So I used to take this medicine at night so that I slept through any side effects like upset stomach and gas. I mean, I knew I had gas. Like, before I went to sleep, I was letting out gas. But, I mean, whatever. But it really did give you gas, like, shortly after you took it. Like, literally swallowed the pill and you got gas. Like, I'm not even joking. But, so that's what happened in my experience. That's the only side effect I had from it. I know you guys know I said appetite loss. That's not why I lost my appetite, because of all my other GI issues as to why I don't have an appetite. But back then, I actually did have an appetite and was eating it when I was, was eating when I was taking Plaquenil. And I also mentioned hair loss. I haven't been losing hair from medications. Yeah. Um, I've noticed my hair loss after I stopped. I have got a lot more hair loss, let's put it that way, after I stopped this medication. So it definitely wasn't from any medication, especially this one, the Plaquenil or hydroxychloroquine. But that's pretty much it with it. I wish I had the pill. I can't find it right now. But yeah. So if you have to end up taking this, it works for a lot of people. Like, some people are able to just take Plaquenil and function and maintain daily. Some people, and that's a blessing. Like, some people are able to do that, and possibly along with prednisone. They may have to take that every so often when they get into flare, or they may be on a low dose of steroids with it, in their not just fine, but just fine in our community as chronically ill. When we say we're just fine, we're okay, like, our okay may be one of your worst days if you're not a person with a chronic illness, especially an inflammatory illness or autoimmune disease. So yeah, that's pretty much it on this medication. I don't really have anything into detail to go into. It doesn't taste bad. The pill, it's nothing, to be honest. It's nothing. So if you have to try it, like I said, make sure that you do eat. Make sure it doesn't conflict with any of your medications. Always double check, because to be real, like, pharmacists, when you go to a pharmacy, they don't. It's so many medications they don't know off the top of their head. Oh, this interacts with that. And you guys know how computer systems are. Like, we probably work, like, you probably work with computers, and computers crash all the time or give you the wrong information all the time. So we know how computers are. So just kind of double check, be your own advocate, look it up for yourself, like the interactions. I would think your doctor would know that, but to be honest, I haven't had any bad experiences, but you would be surprised as to what some of these doctors would do, because it may not just be them prescribing you medications. Like, I go to a whole bunch of specialists and I update, my medication list, but maybe a nurse didn't hear me and type it in or misspelled something. So, the computer didn't recognize what it was. Who knows? Just, make sure you're on that and you're on it for yourself. You're updating each and every doctor, whatever you got to do. So I'll probably make a separate video on that, how to keep updated with all your medications, since I'm doing this series. Just a few tips on what I do, since I often change medications and have so many different types. So yes, so that's all for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions on Plaquenil or hydroxychloroquine, feel free to put them in the the comments below. Like this video, make sure you subscribe to, and yeah, we will see you next time. Goodbye.